All right. Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you all for being here today in recognition of Veterans Day and, in particular, the 250th birthday of the United States Marine Corps. As Director of Employers Training Resource, I'm honored to open up this press conference by thanking the thousands of local veterans that we have in our community. And I want to make it abundantly clear, just from the outset, that we stand ready to be able to assist them in getting back into the workforce if they're not in the workforce, or to elevate their career to the next level if that's what they want. I am joined by a great group of men who have both served their country and this community very well. Each of them will share their remarks, and then after the remarks are completed, we will open the floor for questions. One thing that I am excited to announce this morning is Employers Training Resource is going to be launching in early 2026 a Veterans Job Club. And the hope of that is to create an environment where veterans can meet together and they can receive job search assistance, job navigation assistance in a peer-to-peer environment. We look forward to that in early 2026. The man that will head that up is the man to my left, who is a retired Army Ranger, CEO of TalentBase, and just a great guy, Mr. Kenny Spratt.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Marine Corps. So good morning. I'm First Sergeant Kenny Spratt, United States Army retired. I had the privilege of serving our great country for over 20 years, and be able to come back and serve our community is a privilege of a lifetime. So when you leave the military, you lose more than your uniform, okay? You have the tendency to lose your mission, the sense of purpose, the team that you were with. So, for many of us, that transition into one of the hardest challenges that we've had, coupled with combat. That's why gatherings like this matter today, and they remind us that we're not done yet and we're not alone. And that our community is stepping up to make sure veterans and their families are seen, supported, and feel valued beyond just the uniform. That's why I want to take a moment to recognize the Kern Coalition, an incredible network of local organizations, educators, and employers who are not just talking about helping veterans, they're actually putting action behind it. Out of the collective effort from the Kern Coalition, we are strengthening our veteran community here right at home, called the Veterans Career Bridge Program. This is the first community-based program that's bringing community leaders and organizations and businesses together. It's designed to help veterans and their families be able to, by providing professional development, industry certifications, and paid work experience to transition them into full equitable jobs. Through this initiative, we are aligning local employers, colleges, and workforce partners to make sure every veteran who's ready to work has a clear bridge to a career, from professional development and certifications to internships and full-time employment opportunities. And as we approach Veterans Day, let us remember that honoring veterans and service isn't just about saying thank you for your service, right? It's about taking deliberate action to make sure those who served have the tools, support, and the opportunities right here at home to thrive. To my fellow veterans, whether you served one tour or a full career, your mission hasn't ended. You still have value, you still have purpose, and your leadership matters. And here in Kern County, we're proving that where it's possible. Thank you to the Kern Coalition and to our community leaders for putting this event together and for ensuring that veterans not only feel appreciated, but have an opportunity right here at home. So thank you.
And our next speaker is retired Air Force, Dr. David G. Smith.
Well, thank you, and I too want to acknowledge the remarkable service of our Marine Corps, 250 years. Since we have set up the Space Force, the Air Force is no longer the newest branch of the military, but I would offer we are the most generous branch of the military, and that's proven in evidence. You see, 70 some odd years ago, we allowed the United States Army to be its very own branch of the military. Pretty outgoing of us, So what is a veteran, really? I got the definitive answer when speaking at a Hesperia grade school from a first grade student. So I asked the same question, And the young girl with the matching bows in her hair that were coordinated with her outfit stood up and had the best answer I've ever heard. She said, a veteran is the person you take your sick dog or cat to make them better. I said, okay, that's a veterinarian. But you know, as I think about it a little bit, isn't there a commonality there? Because what our veterans were willing to do is make sacrifices to care for those who may not have been able to defend themselves. People like a ranger that would go out and do those things. I was blessed to be able to fly B-52s for a long time in our United States Air Force. And I'll share with you a brief story that I think outlines some of our dedication. Now, it may focus on me, but it shouldn't. It's really focused on all the members of our military forces, those that have served. So I was on an airplane in civilian attire coming back from Minot, North Dakota. At the time, I was stationed at Fairchild Air Force Base in Spokane, Washington. And returning from what we call a temporary duty assignment up there, where we did some training. And as I got on the airliner to fly back, there was a young guy who got on the plane, was going to sit next to me, and this young man is some kind of fired up. He is looking out the windows and he's moving around. And I said, you know, I've seen my share of takeoff and landings. If you'd like the window seat, you're welcome. And he goes, no, I'm just really excited. You see, I'm going to Washington, D.C. for the Great Peace March. We're going to walk across the country for nuclear disarmament and world peace. What do you do for a living? And I said, I'm a bombardier on B-52s. And he said, oh. And we didn't talk for the rest of the flight, but I actually threw a little prayer in, hoping that I might have an opportunity to somehow touch this young man's heart. And sure enough, as we landed and were deplaning, the young gentleman he reached his hand out to me and he said, sir, I hope I haven't offended you. It's obvious we have very different goals. And I shook his hand and I said, let me correct you, please. And first off, you haven't offended me at all. Our goals are identical. What's different is our commitment. I too, as all the veterans in the world, want nuclear disarmament and world peace. The difference is our commitment. You see, you're willing to walk across the country for it. Our military members are willing to die for it. So it's about a level of commitment. And I'd offer, as we go to hiring our best and brightest, an individual that brings that level of dedication and commitment is remarkable. And that's an asset that we simply must exploit. And I'll mention one thing that I see as a guy who runs Mojave Air and Spaceport on a Monday through Friday basis. My wife reminds me it's really not Monday through Friday. She wonders why I'm in 7 days a week. But if I've learned one thing about the veterans I've hired, it's they bring a remarkable thing that is very unique to them. They're the most trainable people I've ever had the opportunity to serve with. Our military has taught them to be trainable. And when they come into the workplace, they suddenly become this remarkably moldable asset that we can train and employ and deploy across any organization. So I speak in favor of organizations like this that support our veterans, and I vote with my feet. I support our veterans. Thank you so much.
And our next speaker is retired Army and the Director of Kern County's Veterans Services, Jose Lopez.
Thank you, everyone. I'm nowhere near as good a speaker as Dr. Smith, so I've got my notes jotted down. I am the director of the Kern County Veterans Service Department, and it's my honor to serve Kern County's veterans and their families. I want to talk to you all a little bit about the service and sacrifice of all of our veterans. I find myself telling veterans everywhere I go that it doesn't matter where you served, when you served, or what it is that you did in the service, your job was still valuable. Your first act of courage was signing the dotted line. At the age of 17, I may not have fully comprehended what it meant to risk my life for my country, just like Dr. Smith mentioned earlier. But it wouldn't be long before I was shipped to Iraq to find out firsthand. I will tell you I wasn't a war fighter, but wherever I went, trouble seemed to find me sometimes. That brings me to the second act of courage. You're going to be told where to go and what to do, and when you first enlist, you fill out a wish list of all the different places that you want to be stationed at. I'm going to tell you right now, the beaches of Iraq were not on my list. But that's just it. Imagine before you even complete boot camp and you're waiting to find out where you're going to get shipped off to, when most people can't fathom not knowing what move they're going to make after they get dressed. Then comes the hard part, the mission. Mission first, as they would say. That can come in any form. It could be a cook attached to a small element of warfighters, trying to keep them well nourished. It could be a sailor making sure that the flight deck is clear of debris for our fighter jets. It could be that special operator flying under the cover of night on a mission that only they know about, right? There's so many different roles in the military that most people don't always immediately associate with being in the military. But I assure you that all of them play a vital role in the mission at hand, and that's why your service is so valuable. So then comes the inevitable, ETS. For those of you who don't know, that stands for Expiration Term of Service. I know the adjustment is hard going from military to civilian, but once we get a little grease on our wheels, it's hard to stop the determination of a veteran. So Employers Training Resource, Veteran Service Department, TalentBase, and the support of people like Dr. Smith are here to help. We are a team, and we're here to support you as you navigate the uncertainties of life, and we'll help you to prepare for what to expect in your hunt for a gainful employment, and to help you showcase your hard-earned values that you carry into our communities. And the Veteran Service Department is going to be here to help you navigate the benefits for yourself and your dependents. Veterans are fire, rescue, corrections, law enforcement professionals, we're communications experts, lawyers, laborers, analysts, and we are thriving, and we make our communities thrive. So on this day, I join ETR, TalentBase, Dr. Smith, and everybody in Kern County, thanking all of our veterans for the sacrifices that they've made on our behalf, and to tell you that now it's our turn to serve you. Thank you.
So once again, I'm Brandon Evans, the Chief Workforce Development Officer for the County of Kern and the Director of Employers Training Resource. It's a humbling privilege to share the microphone with such heroes and speak about these vital services that are provided to veterans throughout Kern County. Services that not only honor their sacrifice, but empower their future. We are proud to offer a comprehensive suite of employment and training services programs customized and available to veterans throughout the county. Our veterans have given so much in their service to our country. When they return home, they deserve every opportunity to thrive in their civilian life. At ETR, we believe that meaningful employment is a cornerstone of that transition. That's why we've made it a part of our mission to ensure that veterans in Kern County have access to the tools, resources, and support they so desperately need to succeed. ETR provides priority service to veterans, no-cost training services that include career counseling, job placement assistance, skills assessments and resume workshops, access to vocational training and certificate programs, and then all the supportive services to wrap that around. And to our veterans, we do in fact see you. We value you, and we're here for you. To our community partners and employers, we invite you to join us in this mission, hire a veteran, mentor a veteran, and invest in their future. And to the general public, help us spread the word that these services and the help and the support that is so desperately needed is actually available. So in closing, I want to thank these fine gentlemen, our staff, our partners, and most importantly, our veterans. Together we can build a stronger Kern County, one veteran at a time. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Hearing no questions, we will call this press conference to a close. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.